All the thanks and praises are due to Allah, creator of everything. And may the blessings of Allah be on all of His prophets and messengers, starting with Adam, passing through Noah, Ibrahim, Abraham, Musa, Moses, Isa, Jesus, and Muhammad. This is the second section of our response to a video posted by apostate prophet Ridvan Aydemir on his YouTube channel, a video that I couldn't find this morning before I posted the first section. Now I find it. And anyway, its topic is about a Christian priest saying that Muhammad was a child molester. Now, the first segment was about the who. Let's remind us about the who. My name is Jalal Abualrub, JALALABUALRUB. My website is islamlife.com, ISLAMLIFE.com. And we're going to talk today about section number 2. The who was about these characters. Ridvan Aydemir. According to him, he was a Muslim, then ex-Muslim, then atheist, then ex-atheist. Now he's agnostic. What's the future is going to bring, I have no idea. Allah knows. And we mentioned in the who section that a character called Shamoun, who's been described by fellow evangelicals as a foul-mouthed person, claims that the wife of Ridvan became Christian and that he anticipates that Ridvan would soon become Christian, or as Shamoun put it, would come to Christ. Also, in the video, you have 3 characters who are hosting or being hosted by Ridvan Aydemir. So Ridvan Aydemir hosted David Wood. I have a book coming about David Wood and Shamoun at the same time. Among the 8 books that are coming soon, we finished them. We're going to post them for free soon, inshallah, Allah willing, on the website islamlife.com. And I have a book also about Ridvan Aydemir. So you have Ridvan and David Wood and a woman called Nuriya Khan, of course, ex-Muslim. What else? And these 3 were making fun of Muhammad, the Prophet of Islam, based on a speech by Calvin Robinson, described as a priest, evangelist, Catholic. What a combination. Who's been running after the Church of England, a Protestant church, to be ordained. You figure it out. I don't know what that means. Anyway, this man was saying a few things about which Ridvan Wood and Nuriya were making fun about Muhammad and joking, calling him names and child molester, rapist, warmonger. And Nuriya Khan, ex-Muslim, she's saying, how beautiful. This is a Christian priest who's saying this. Yeah. So we spoke about Calvin Robinson. What's with the hair, man? We spoke about Calvin Robinson. So he's saying that Muhammad was a warmonger, a child molester, and he's talking about Islam being a cult, Mohammedanism, and also he said that Christianity is about love and love and love. We'll prove it. We'll prove love in Christianity. Just be patient. I started strong because look at the title. I mean, what do you expect me to say? Look at the title. These are filthy, filthy people. Now, let's talk about some of the key words that Calvin mentioned in his speech. And again, wasted 5 minutes talking about these characters. I need my glasses to see. to see this. Okay. This is a section of the book titled Holy Wars, Crusades, Jihad, the third edition. Allah blessed me to author this book after 9/11. And I mentioned before, Allah blessed me and my family to produce 77 books and book lists so far. Tens of thousands of articles, all about Islam, all in English, and most of them defending, explaining the religion, some of them defending the religion. This is one of them. After 9/11, I published it here in America. This is the third edition, coming soon, inshallah. The 8 books I mentioned in segment number 1, please watch segment number 1, just a few hours before this one here. So what page, I'm not sure yet, because the book is not finished yet. But we're going to read from Numbers 31. This is a segment of Holy Wars, Crusades, Jihad. Note how the Jews who wrote the Old Testament with their own hands ascribe major crimes to God. Falsely. It's false. Ascribe major crimes to God, the Lord, and to Moses. No way. Also compare the quoted instructions from the Old Testament to what the Jews are currently doing to the Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank. The close connection between the Jewish holy books, edicts, and the actions of the Jews is clear to those who have a good heart, who are able to see the truth. Chapter 31, Numbers, verse number 1. The Lord said to Moses, "Take vengeance on the Midianites for the Israelites. After that you will be gathered to your people," meaning you will die. So Moses said to the people, "Arm some of your men to go to war against the Midianites, so that they may carry out the Lord's vengeance on them. Send into battle 1,000 men from each of the tribes of Israel." So 12,000 men armed for battle, 1,000 from each tribe, were supplied from the clans of Israel. They fought against Midian. This is verse number 7. They fought against Midian as the Lord commanded Moses, and killed every man. You might say they're all combatants. Verse 9. The Israelites captured the Midianite women and children, and took all the Midianite herds, flocks, and goods as plunder. They burned all the towns where the Midianites had settled. They burned all the towns where the Midianites had settled, as well as all their camps. They took all the plunder and spoils, including the people and animals, and brought the captives, spoils, and plunder to Moses and Eleazar, the priest, and the Israelite assembly at their camp on the plains of Moab, by the Jordan, across from Jericho, from Ariha. Moses, this is number 14 now, verse 14. Moses was angry with the officers of the army. No way. This is proof that the Old Testament is a fake book. Moses was angry with the officers of the army, the commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds who returned from the battle. Have you allowed all the women to live? He asked them. They were the ones who followed Balaam's advice and enticed the Israelites to be unfaithful to the Lord in the Peor incident, so that a plague struck the Lord's people. The Jews forgot to put only people here, so they keep changing their books. Maybe they'll think now, say, let's put only people. Now kill all the boys. Combatants too? Now kill all the boys. Now kill all the boys and kill every woman who has slept with a man. Now kill all the boys and kill every woman who has slept with a man. Muhammad is a warmonger. Another key word by Calvin, child molester. But save for yourselves every girl who has never slept with a man. But save for yourselves every girl who has never slept with a man. Jump to verse 32 to 35. The plunder remaining from the spoils that the soldiers took was 675,000 sheep, 72,000 cattle. The Hindus will be very happy with that. 61,000 donkeys and 32,000 women who had never slept with a man. Numbers 31. Comments. This is a part of Holy War's Crusade Jihad, 3rd edition. Coming soon, inshallah, Allah willing. Numbers, incredibly exaggerated numbers. This is a false accusation against God and then Moses. Look at the numbers here. Imagine Palestine today. Look at the map. Palestine is a very small area in the world. Midian is a small area within that small area, and we're talking about thousands of years ago. They fought the Midianites and they captured 675,000 sheep, 72,000 cattle, 61,000 donkeys, and 32,000 women who had never slept with a man. And 32,000 women who had never slept with a man. And save for yourselves every girl who has never slept with a man. So among the plunder, and 32,000 women who had never slept with a man. Now, what's the test? What's the test? On account of which the children of Israel found which women did not sleep with a man or girls. What's the test? Let's talk about the Talmud. It was written hundreds of years ago, 1500 maybe years ago, hundreds of years after the time of Jesus. This was written. Talmud. Mishnah Nidda 5:4. Remember, 32,000 virgins. A girl 3 years and 1 day old is betrothed by intercourse. 32,000 virgins, 3 years and younger. That's the test. According to the Talmud. We didn't write it, the Jews wrote it. And what did the children of Israel do with the 32,000 virgins? Hold a massive prayer session with them? Save for yourselves. How many people were killed during that 1 day battle in a small area? Thousands of years ago? 32,000 virgins. They had siblings, they had parents, they had uncles, aunts, other relatives. If you count it, it's going to be 250,000 people were killed during that day. We're not talking about ancient China or ancient India. This is thousands of years ago in such a small area. Now, about the marriage age, we talked about Talmud, 3 years and 1 day. There is also mention in the Bible of something that is 12 years old. This is the marriage age. That's what Shamoun said. Here, we're going to read this segment of my book, Did Jesus and Muhammad Practice Cross-Dressing? Page 80 to 81. Did the biblical God take a prostitute as his lover? Remember, Calvin said Christianity is love. 32,000 virgins, love. You see, the Christians believe that Jesus revealed the Old Testament. Okay? Jesus. Ask them, they will tell you. Did the biblical God take a prostitute as his lover? Later, I passed by And when I looked at you and saw that you were old enough for love, I spread the corner of my garment, the veil of my garment, corner, over you and covered your naked body. I gave you my solemn oath and entered into a covenant with you, declares the sovereign Lord, and you became mine. Ezekiel 16:8. Who is that wearing a skirt and then covering his lover with its corner? Is he the biblical God, also known to Christians as Jesus? And who wears a skirt, a he or a she? How can God and a prostitute coexist in the same sentence that also describes them as lovers, let alone claim that God is wearing the same dress at the same time along with his lover? What an awful parable to use, and a disgusting thought. Jalal Abualrub, Did Jesus and Muhammad Practice Cross-Dressing, page 8081. So Shamoun, Shamoun says that 12 years it's in the Bible. It's in the Old Testament, 12 years. Until the 12th century, we're going to talk from the 12th century until the 17th century. Before that, you can make your own research, find the age limit for marriage throughout the world. You're going to find... We'll talk about it later, okay? Let's talk now about this segment of a book where it reads theoretically, they've been marrying for ages and ages and ages. This is normal behavior by humans. Theoretically, it was possible for two people to marry very young. The minimum legal age was 12 years for women and 14 years for men. In addition, it was possible for the couple to get engaged at the age of 7. Marriage in 17th century England. The woman's story, Alice Brabkova, University of West Bohemia, Pilsen. Now, I have other keywords that Calvin mentioned in his speech, which Ridvan was making fun of Muhammad because of it, and David Wood and Nuriya Khan. Ridvan, read the book before you get into this religion to find out what you're getting yourself into. Now, Christian, priest, Catholic, child molestation. Are you joking? You should be ashamed, Calvin. You should be ashamed. What about that hair you have? You should be ashamed to even mention this word. You're a Catholic priest. In America alone, how much did the Catholic Church pay to compensate the children, mostly boys, of priest abuse, sexual abuse? More than 3 billion. More than 3 billion. And Calvin, if you say, well, I'm running after the Church of England, they're Protestants, to become an ordained something with them. Well, let's read this. The Church, meaning of England, says its Commissioners Board has agreed to set aside £150 million in initial funding once the scheme is in place to ensure swift financial payouts for the children who were victims of clergy abuse in the Church of England. BBC.com. So another keyword that Calvin mentions, love, 32,000. And he's saying that Islam is about war and Muhammad, warmongering. Really? Since the beginning of this century alone, 1 million Muslims at a minimum were killed in Afghanistan and Iraq after the Christian invasion, and hundreds of thousands of people killed in Syria, Yemen, Libya, other areas, directly because of their involvement or not involvement. Millions were expelled from their countries. And you're talking about love? We've had enough of your love, people. Calvin said he's half English, but he's fully worried about Islam. You should be only half worried about Islam. Europe, Christians, Catholics, Holocaust, that's love? Come on. I mean, we've had enough of your love. Just keep it to yourself. You're supporting the Jews. They killed close to 40,000 men, women, and children so far in Gaza. And you're talking about love? Keep it in your pocket and see where it goes. On the day of judgment, when you meet the creator of everything, whose name is Allah. Ridvan, his name is Allah. He has a video. Allah got his name wrong. Really? And you got it right? Now, I need a section 3. Can you be patient with me until we do a section 3, because we still have some good stuff. Good stuff on the side of wickedness, but very bad stuff. What can I say? So I mentioned a few things here, and I'm going to respond more about the stuff that Calvin said. One thing he said, that Islam is a cult, Mohammedanism. What's a Mohammedanism? I have no idea. But Islam is a cult. Well, consult, since you're a Catholic, with the Vatican magazine a few years ago. They said that Islam has surpassed Catholicism as the largest religion on earth. Got it? A cult? And you follow what? And what's with that hair? David Wood, what happened to the nightgown of your wife? You're wearing it in that video. What happened to the video? Ridvan Aydemir, you want to become like this? You want to believe in this stuff? That God. And what happened to the 32,000 virgin girls? Can you find any trace of them today in the blood of those who claim to be Israelites today? You see, my name is Jalal Abualrub. I'm Palestinian from the West Bank, from the city of Jenin, and this neck, I only lower it for Allah. All thanks to Allah.